Dark.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Shot in the Dark. I am your host, John Siino Evil here. Let's get right down to it. AEW Dark Elevation. Hangman Page with a record of 6-0, ranked number 1 in the men's division, defeated Spencer Slade very quick. He hits a powerbomb into a pin, so pretty cool to him to not use his buckshot lariat and using different moves. That's one thing that AEW definitely does right that I enjoy. Match number 2, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with a record of 7-1, ranked number 3 in the women's division. Making her way up here, defeated Tesha Price with a record of 0-5 with a lockjaw submission. Interesting note, there's actually a rematch of the dark match they had back in the 2018 Mae Young Classic when they both were alternates. Wow, 2018 feels like it was such a long time ago, but look how far they've come. Match number 3, Jurassic Express with a record of 6-0. Number 2 in the tag team division defeated Jay Lion and Midas Black with a record of 0-1. Very quick match here with Jungle Boy getting the pin on both Lion and Black after him and Luchasaurus hit a pair of Death Valley drivers. Interesting note here, Jay Lion, I've said in the past, he has this lion gimmick. He actually has like this plastic steak coming out of his mouth. So yeah, pretty interesting here to see the lion and the dinosaur battle over a steak. The Hybrid 2 with a record of 2-3 defeated Vario Morales and Andre Montoya with a record of 0-1 when a Helico makes Montoya submit to the Navarro Death Roll. We go backstage with Paul White, who's sitting down with the Acclaimed. Pretty much talks about them getting signed to AEW in 2020. And then Anthony Bowens opens up a little bit about being gay and the struggles that he's had to endure here in the wrestling industry. And then Bowens gives an injury update saying that when he's recovered, he's recovering right now, but he'll be back very soon. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with a record of 4-1 defeated Mike Magnum and Stone Rockwell. Stark gets the pin here on Rockwell after hitting the Rochambeau, and it seems that him and Cage are on the same page for now. Abaddon 4-1 defeated Sky Blue 0-1. Abaddon wins easily here with the Cemetery Drive, and the comedy here is that Paul White is terrified on commentary. Orange Cassidy defeated Prince Kai. Now, before the match starts, Kai hands a note to Justin Roberts that introduces him with these words. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye, ladies and gentlemen, standing before you weighing in 200 glorious pounds, he is known as Prince Charming to all the ladies, and the most handsome man in pro wrestling to everyone else. Here is the one, the only, Prince Kai. So he's showboating the entire entrance, and then he turns around, gets hit with a beach break for the pin in about 5 seconds. Private Party defeated Alex Reynolds and Colt Cabana. Matt Hardy on the outside, he pretty much gets the entire Dark Order ejected by doing some shenanigans. And Isaiah Cassidy does get the pin on Colt Cabana with a roll-up after some Matt Hardy confusion with who the legal man actually was. So the Hardy family office here is helping them get some wins. Thunder Rosa with a record of 7-2 defeated Shauna Reed with a record of 0-1 very easily here with the Thunder Rosa driver. The Best Friends with a record of 25-11 defeated Hayden Backlund and Kit Sackett. Trent gets the pin here on Backlund after him and Chuck Taylor hit back-to-back pile drivers. I have to admit, I kind of enjoy the Pixies song only being with Orange Cassidy because you heard it twice for his match, then you hear it another 2 times here, and then whenever Chris Statlander wrestles, they give it to her as well. It's don't overdo it. I don't want to hear the same theme song 3-4 times in the show. They should have kept it exclusively to Orange Cassidy. I think it fits him better anyway. Match number 11, legit Layla Hirsch and Ryo Mizunami defeated Nyla Rose and Maddie Rankowski. Vicky Guerrero comes out, kicks out Justin Roberts, and introduces Rankowski and Rose. And Hirsch makes Rankowski tap out to the armbar while Mizunami holds back Rose. Austin Gunn defeated Aaron Solo with the quick draw after QT Marshall, Nick Camarado, and Colton Gunn gets involved on the outside. I want to say this is Austin Gunn's, maybe not his first, but it's definitely one of rare instances of him having a singles match. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky defeated Carly Bravo and Dean Alexander when Sky makes Alexander submit to the heel lock. Dasha's backstage interviewing Austin Gunn, who says the feud with the factory is far from over, and then his daddy, Billy Gunn, comes in, interrupts, takes over the interview, which I don't understand why you would just kind of take the shine away from your son. But he gets interrupted by QT Marshall, who's pretty much trying to apologize for what he did, but it's all a ruse as he knocks Billy Gunn down with a right hook. And the main event, Kenny Omega, Konosuke Takeshita, and MT Nakazawa defeated Matt and Mike Sydal and Danny Limelight. Omega's treating this as a comedy match. Even before the match starts, he's upset that he's even wrestling on Elevation, as he's rarely on Dark. And him and Nakazawa, they have these headsets on and they're communicating with each other. But Takeshita gets the pin on Mike Sydal after hitting the beautiful bridge German suplex. Tuesday's AEW Dark. Interesting, the show starts actually with this black and white video from Darby Allin, where he says people say that him and Jungle Boy are a lot alike, but they're nothing alike, and tells Jungle Boy if he wants the title, he needs to stop smiling and turn on that switch. So, different way to start off Dark. I actually enjoyed it with this nice little video hyping up their match. But the first match, Joey Janela defeated Will All Day. Janela gets the pin here after the Death Valley Driver. SCU defeated Ryzen and John Skyler when Kazarian gets the pin on Ryzen after the best Meltzer ever. Big Swole and Kylan King defeated this new team of Ashley and Steph MK. The MKs, they're two twin sisters from Tonga. Swole gets the pin on Ashley after a rolling elbow. We get a pretty cool video of Ricky Starks. He's like in this old school looking saloon, dressed like a cowboy in a way, and says that he should be the number one ranked wrestler over Hangman Page. And every time Page is on top, he falls to the pressure, unlike him, who makes diamonds under pressure. And it's time for Page to move over and make room for Starks. I like this video. The Butcher and the Blade defeated Brick Aldridge and Cole Carter. Butcher gets the pin on Aldridge after the drag to Lake. We go backstage with Ryan Nemeth, who's with JD Drake and Cesar Bononi, and Nemeth is trying to give Drake a makeover with some new clothes, and Drake is very reluctant to even try them, but then Bononi makes some sort of note about Drake not being able to be sexy, and Drake is like, I can do this, and he takes the clothes and walks away. So, yeah, I guess we're getting some sort of makeover sexy JD Drake. I'm not sure if I'm really intrigued by this. Sonny Kiss defeated Jake Manning. Ken wins easily in about a minute with a sit-out stunner, and then after grabs the mic and says that when he came to AEW, he vowed to do two things: shake some ass and kick some ass. He gets into this very serious promo and says that the games are over, it's a wrap, so put that in an envelope and seal that with a kiss. Very good promo from Sonny here, showing Kiss's serious side. Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and 10 defeated Midas Black, J-Line, and Ken Broadway. Funny spots here, since Broadway's gimmick is that he throws money, he makes it rain. So -1 and Bryce Rensburg, they just keep pocketing all the money. Evil Uno gets the pin on Broadway after the fatality. Billy Gunn defeated Andrew Palace. Gunn is sporting the shiner that QT gave him on Elevation, and he easily gets the win after the Faymaster, and he cuts us really quick by angry promo on QT Marshall. Dante Martin defeated Fuego del Sol. They mentioned Darius is still out for a while with his knee injury. It's actually a pretty good competitive match, but Dante gets the pin with a great-looking 450 splash. Diamante defeated Queen Aminata. Diamante gets the win with a body scissor submission. The Varsity Blondes defeated Hayden Backlund and Kit Sackett when Pillman pinned Sackett with a powerbomb combo. Max Caster defeated Allen 5 Angels. Caster's freestyle says something about Angels having a fetish, since he always gets beat up by his friends. Caster gets the pin after hitting him with his chain. Basically, Ted and Anthony Bowens on the outside are fighting with the boombox. They cause a distraction. That's what causes the chain to get into the ring. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated Baron Black. Hobbs destroyed Black in a couple minutes with a power slam, sending a message to Christian Cage for their upcoming match. And the main event, Pac, with a record of 3-0, defeated Dean Alexander. Pac runs in angrily and wins with a brutalizer submission in under a minute. So the last two matches only took about 5 minutes or so. NWA Powerrr, back to the traditional show here. Trevor Murdoch starts the show asking Chris Adonis for a rematch, and he doesn't care what the stipulations are. Instead, Nick Aldis comes out and says that Murdoch needs to stop blaming everyone for his issues and start blaming himself. Aldis says that Murdoch isn't really championship material, and instead Aldis will fight in the main event. But if Murdoch stays far away from the match, Aldis might consider giving him a title shot, but it is not guaranteed. May Valentine is backstage with Slice Boogie, where he challenges Jax Dane to a match anytime, anywhere. Then Sal Rinauro comes out. He has a tag team match with Aaron Stevens and Kratos that they've been setting up for the last couple of weeks. Non-title match. And Rinauro comes out by himself and says that his partner is on the way, and he is labeled as a former NWA champion. So the bell rings, the partner never comes out. It starts off as a handicap match. And then Danny Deals comes out, who is not a wrestler. He's the guy that does like the high spots commercials for NWA, but he gets taken out right away by Kratos. And then Stevens and Kratos start arguing because Kratos is pretty much bullying on Rinauro, and Stevens, kind of turning babyface, doesn't really approve of that. This causes Tim Storm to leave the commentary and stand on the apron, distracting Kratos. And Kratos actually goes to hit Aaron Stevens, who ducks, and then he kind of stops himself from hitting Tim Storm. And this distracts him, like I said, and Rinauro actually rolls him up and pins him. And him and Tim Storm are announced as the winners, and the tag team champions Kratos and Stevens are arguing more on their way out. The Pope is being interviewed along with Tyrus and Austin Idol, and Pope says that no matter where he goes, Tyrus seems to follow him. Tyrus says that he always respected Pope, but Pope never could be the man, until now that he's a TV champion. But the TV championship belongs to Idol, as it's a title that he created. And Pope says that he can't just get a title shot, he needs to earn it and qualify for it. Tyrus gets angry and says that so be it, but people will get hurt. And then he walks to the ring where there's already a match in progress with Marshe, Rocket, and M-Dog Matt Cross, and he just walks into the match and makes it a triple threat. Cross hits a shooting star press and looks like he has the match actually won, but Tyrus breaks it up and gets the pin himself on Rocket to become the number one contender to the Pope's TV title. That easy. May Valentine is backstage with Chris Adonis and Tom Latimer, where she asks about what Trevor Murdoch says, and said that they aren't worried about him, but they're worried about the tag titles. And if Murdoch does show up, Strictly Business will be there waiting for him. Camille defeated Genocide with a spear after a competitive 5-minute match. Melina comes out after to check on Genocide, but she gets a spear herself from Camille. And then Thunder Rosa comes out and just starts shouting with Camille. Nick Aldis versus Jordan Clearwater. This match ended very quick in a no contest because just as it started, Chris Adonis and Tom Latimer come out and they're seen brawling with Trevor Murdoch. They take him inside the ring and all three members of Strictly Business just destroy Murdoch to end the show. NXT UK, Nathan Fraser defeated Saxon Huxley with a frog splash. Noam Dar and angry Shaw Samuels are backstage talking about Dar's loss to Tyler Bate, but Dar tells them they have a match next week against Mustache Mountain. Noam Dar then has a Supernova Session show, his guest being Gallus, who said that they've been training the entire time. Eddie Dennis interrupts and challenges Joey Coffey to a match next week, but before we get an answer, Tyson T-Bone and Primate jump in and they start brawling with Gallus. We get a quick segment with Sam Granwell, pretty much not being allowed into the PC by Dave Mastiff. Mustache Mountain are also hyping up next week's match as the first time they've been ever teamed up in BT Studios, so they're treating it like a monumental event. Isla Dawn defeated Amelia McKenzie with a bridge half Nelson suplex. Jenny talks a bit of trash backstage to Danny Luna before their upcoming match. They also make Eddie Kingston versus Joe Coffey official for next week, and Meiko Satomura confronts Aoife Valkyrie and accepts her challenge. Jack Stars defeated Ashton Smith with a roll-up to get his first singles victory in NXT UK, while Piper Niven is seated in his corner cheering him up. In the main event, former tag team partners Kenny Williams defeated Amir Jordan after throwing him face first into an exposed turnbuckle. This fight obviously emotionally charged because of them being a former tag team and all. WWE 205 Live, Jake Atlas defeated Ashante the Adonis with a cartwheel DDT, and August Gray defeated Tony Nese with a roll-up. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. This is the semifinals for the New Japan Cup USA 2021. The first match was Mysterioso, Barrett Brown, Adrian Quest, and Jordan Clearwater defeated Carl Fredericks, Alex Coughlin, Kevin Knight, and the DKC, with Mysterio pinning Knight after a backbreaker. Barrett Brown walks out on his partners because he didn't get the pin. In the two semifinals match, Tom Lawlor defeated Hikuleo with a roll-up after working on his knee on the outside, and Brody King defeated Lio Rush with the Gonzo Bomb. Set out next week's final for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Championship, Tom Lawlor versus Brody King. That should be a great match. And on Ring of Honor, it was the 500th episode of them being on Sinclair, so pretty monumental event. These two matches were chosen by the fans, and the first match, phenomenal match, for the pure title, Jonathan Gresham defeated Jay Lethal. Amazing match, like I said. Gresham retains the title with a head scissor like pinfall in over 16 minutes. This is the match I would recommend to go out and watch. Ring of Honor, unfortunately, under the radar. Not many people get to watch it. But if you're going to go out your way to watch a match, please watch this match. And the main event, the two brothers, Mark Briscoe defeated his brother Jay Briscoe by countout after hitting him with an elbow through a table on the outside. On main event, Mansoor defeated Akira Tozawa, so his winning streak continues. And Angel Garza defeated Drew Gulak. The WWE Network editions of the week, Evolve number 9, which has Chuck Taylor versus Johnny Gargano, Fit Finley versus Sami Callihan, John Silver versus Tony Nese, and Kevin Steen. He's actually on commentary and has his only Evolve match in history versus Bobby Fish and John Davis in the triple threat match. Also, Lindsay Dorado makes his debut on here. We also get WXW We Love Wrestling number 7. You guys can actually catch me on the Up Next feed with Davey Portman this Friday, going over a primer for Impact Wrestling's Rebellion pay-per-view, and then this Sunday there'll be a watch-along as well as a post-show for me and Davey, so make sure you check that out. Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann, unification match for the AEW and Impact World titles. That is it. You guys can catch me here next week for another episode of Shot in the Dark.